So if we were to play like the 20 questions game and you were to ask me what is the most awkward question that you could possibly be asked, I think the answer right up there along with do you have a boyfriend and how many pairs of shoes do you actually need? I think the answer would be how much money did you make off of your book? It's really awkward and it's very startling to me how many people ask me this question. I guess not realizing what an awkward situation it is. And I think especially preteens and guys. Like, guys have no problem walking up to me and being like, so, how much money did you make off of your book? How much money do you have? Do you have $1 million? Can you pay for college? And all this stuff. And I'm just like, that's not appropriate to be asking. But I figured so many people have asked me that I might as well try to answer it as gracefully as possible. And try to give you, because I was thinking about it, and if I was a teenage girl and I had a friend, or if I knew someone who was an author, I would probably want to know how much money they make. And well, I don't want to give you like the specific dollar amount of how much money I made off of my book. I'll try to give you as definite an answer as possible while still remaining somewhat vague and mysterious. I think that the answer is most authors off of writing a book probably make about $5,000 to $10,000, and that's just how much they get paid for writing the book. And that's how much I got paid in that price range for both my books, and I think that's pretty normal. And then so that's the main check that you get, and then after that you can get what's called royalty fees. And that's like if your book sells a certain amount, like if it sells the entire, and you get the entire amount of money that they gave you, then you can continue getting money after that. So you get a check like once a month or once a quarter, and it'll be like your 15% or whatever it was you signed to in the contract. And so that's more money that you can get. And then also authors get paid, like if you buy books from the publisher and then you resell them. I can buy books for significantly cheaper and then resell them at speaking events and stuff like that and make like $10 off of each book that I resell. So that's a pretty good source of income. And then the last thing I can think of is authors sometimes get fees for speaking at libraries or schools or conventions or churches or whatever. Like they'll give you a donation or a speaker's fee or something like that. So altogether, I mean, unless you're like J.K. Rowling or Stephen King or something, authors aren't usually millionaires. It's not that much money. It's pretty good for me because I was like, 15 years old when I got paid for my first book, but I've found that it's not necessarily how much money that you make that makes you happy, it's what you're doing. And I love writing. I would write if I was getting paid enough to live in a mansion in Santa Monica, or if I was not making any money at all. I would continue doing it because it's what I love to do, and it's such an amazing, I think, calling and opportunity, and I just really enjoy it. And so for me, the money isn't an incentive, so it doesn't really matter how much or how little I get paid because I enjoy it and because it's a passion of mine. And hopefully it's that way for you too. I mean, as much as you may want to be an author, hopefully it's not, the prospect of making like $100,000 that drives you, because that's like not gonna happen. I can pretty much assure you that. But hopefully that answered some of your overly curious questions, and hopefully I still maintained a scrap of dignity after telling you how much or how little authors actually get paid. But that's all I have to say about that topic. Still a little awkward for me, but if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you, and I will see you again next week for something hopefully a little bit more cheerful and not quite as awkward for me.